I'm back, sort of, I think. Okay, what happened last time? We completed the 3 Trials of Odin. The lore markers have been talking about a very powerful sword granted to, I want to say, Sigmund, named Tearfling. And we just completed the 3rd trial, and it started like it was about to shoot me into another cinematic, so I was pretty quickly, I just got that save icon, I'm like, oh, gotta finish this one up here. Okay, it has been, since Saturday? Yeah, it's been since Saturday. It's been a while. It's been a while. Feels like a while. Got all the lore markers around here. Hopefully 100% on lore markers so far. Been trying, a little bit conscientious about trying to pick those up along the way. Okay. Pretty sure I got a save point directly after. Let's see. Trials of Odin are there. Oh, I hope it saved all the 3 trials. Got that save indicator. Yep. What about this last one? There's a... Oh, yeah, okay. That... There was a glowing metal fragment that I kind of ignored running by over here. That is likely the thing I need to interact with. It's like, oh, there's that blue over there.
I saw once a plague strike northern lands of ice. It was so terrible that not the oldest man among us could remember the like. Hundreds died. The sickness took nearly every person younger than 40 and many older. And where dying mothers gave birth, the marks of the plague were on the babes as they came out of the womb.
Where are we? I don't like it. This place feels... What is this place? It's creepy. It feels wrong. It feels strange. Where is it? Where are we? Turn back. This is wrong. This has to be wrong. This place stinks. There he is. There he is. The light. Go towards it. He's in the house. He's going in. He's disappearing. Follow him.
Just a minute.
The air's gone. Keep going. How do you find it? It's just a trial. It's just another test. You just have to solve it, and then you will find him. Then you will succeed. He's so close. Just one little test to do. You can almost reach him. You can almost. It's a test. Like the old warrior trials.
Okay.
Dillian will help me. The stench
of rot. She can almost taste it. Do you smell it? No. Don't worry. Not everyone can. It was a warm spring day when she went to the river with Dillian and the others. To the water. She could taste the rot. No one else could. She knew something was wrong. Something sinister. She begged them to leave, but they just laughed at her. But soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was laughing. And they knew that she was not like them.
So she had a premonition.
It's broken. Fix it. You have to fix it.
A very
How are we going to fix
tangible
it?
premonition of
Bridge is fixed.
the river contaminating, and
To get to the house, you have to find Dillian.
okay, I see these. I see these here. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the same kind of visionary effect we had with Val Robin.
The Northmen speak of a death moon, a light shaped like a half moon that appears inside a house and goes around the walls. I once saw the death moon appear at a farm, and first the shepherd died, then a guest died, and then the farmhand, and then the farmer and 6 of his men drowned at sea. But that is not the end of it, because the dead return to haunt the living. If you see the death moon, then beware, because there will be death.
No death moon currently. That maybe it's behind the clouds. Oh, there's still. I think there's still sunlight out. It's very bright.
You found a way to climb the tower, the ladder. Quick. You can see it. Aligned to the truth. The bridge.
There we go. Oop. Do that.
She did it.
There we go.
She fixed it. You passed the trial. Get to the house. You succeeded.
This scene coming up is one of the more memorable for me of this series, or this series of chapters, I guess I should say. I personally would love to see more games like this. Oh, that did do something when I walked through it. I didn't see that the first time, I guess. Okay.
Now you have to find him. Quick, get to the house.
Okay.
Get to the house and finish this.
New
trial.
lower
It doesn't
marker
finish
over there.
until you get to the house. Before he disappears, Senua, you have to get in.
Senua! Come to me! Where are you?
I'm here! I'm right here!
Are you in there? Come out if you are.
Find him. You have to find him. The rooms.
Dillian! They're coming for me!
This is too much. Someone's calling.
Okay,
Cillian,
there's
go to him.
fire
Go
over
to him.
there.
He's trying to save you. There it is. Huh? It's close. It's close. Move away. Senua, move away. Feel it. You'll die. Feel it. You're dying. Let it see it.
It is.
There we go.
Run.
Focus.
Focus. Focus. Two more. Two.
Where are they, son?
Where's Dillian?
Where are you?
Don't let it see you.
Don't get lost.
Don't let it see you.
Come on.
You'll start to burn.
You'll
There
burn.
it is. Move away.
Don't let it look
Quick. Where's Dillian? Where is he? This is taking too long. Run now. What shall I do? You came through the wrong door. Where's your sword?
And just what is that creature? You can't defend yourself. It's Dillian. The light.
There we go.
Go towards
Two.
it. Focus. Look. I have to find one more. One more.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did this scene was so intense. With this thing chasing me,
Where is he?
not knowing my way around here at all. I still don't, but now it's just move quickly.
You've got them.
Okay.
Where's the door? Find it again.
Get out. Run. Look at you.
Don't let it see you. It's coming. Move away. You're lost again.
Nice.
Senua! Senua! What happened?
They're blaming me for the plague. They say that I'm cursed. What if they're right?
How would they know such a thing? Are they gods? None of us are. They're just people. Good people, but they're scared. They're afraid of what they can't see. Like children scared of the dark. They make up stories to fill the void. That doesn't make them true.
What if my father was right?
You have to step out of this darkness. Let them see who you really are, like I have. You're not a monster.
Without you, this darkness has made me a monster.
Moments like this with this
The warrior trials.
the cinematic that kind of adds to the storyline in this relationship between Senua and Dillian.
Armor reforged. You will have Odin's blessing to walk, a goddess, into the halls of Helheim and challenge Hela as an equal.
So Dillian was helping me. And the sword will lead me to him. Like when we first met.
I think I've mentioned this before that Ninja Theory did a lot of work or a lot of development around Senua's character, really portraying mental illness, like when of course all the voices, and then in this realm of Helheim, whether she's actually hallucinating or there's some type of spiritual malady affecting her, or because of this place that she's in, it's very it's supposed to be kind of a portrayal of psychosis and hallucinations, and then this particular camera effect, they mentioned this, of trying to get her to look directly at the camera, and she won't. This kind of aversion that when people are experiencing mental illness, and particularly her character, you know, she's so affected by it that she can't meet someone's eye because she's, you know, so affected that she feels, you know, so ashamed of herself. And that cinematic with Dillian where, you know, he's trying to help her through, and he knows her character, that she's not a bad person. She's not, you know, morally and ethically, she's a good person, but she has these, you know, these fits, these things that happen to her where she has visions, and these tribal cultures frame what in our society call mental illness. They you know, some of them are referred to as like priests and priestesses, or shamans, or, you know, psychics, whatever. So there's a different story that's being told around this character's what's happening to her. It's so cool. It's so amazing. I love stuff like this.
And become a warrior in Dillian's clan.
The sword is tainted by the gods of darkness. Leave it.
No. He left it here. He wants me to take it.
You will pay a price for this.
But years later, with Zinbel's parting words still haunting her, the darkness came back with a vengeance. The plague.
Dillian?
Everyone suffered.
My father was not supposed to die like this.
Do you see it clearly now, Senua? The suffering you've caused.
This is your fault. You brought this plague to us. You have blood on your hands.
They're coming for you now.
They're coming.
They're coming to get you. Hold your heavy strike. Hold it. Hold the heavy strike. Hold it. Hold your heavy strike. Unleash the sword. Focus.
Okay. Oh wow, that was a quick. Okay. Yeah, gotta. Hey, what's up, Comrade Dyatlov? The Psychosis is amazing. I love this game. I was just talking about how, Ninja Theory, I guess you heard me. I don't know if you just heard the little bit I was talking about how they portray her, quote-unquote mental illness as a...
Corpses.
Oh, you just joined?
The wave threw itself over the ones I loved. The ship broke up under them. The ship that had sailed from the land of shining fields. Their memorial stone is sacred. Come not here in the sun. Come not with a sword. Come not crying over a naked corpse. Come not with disturbed mind.
Yeah, I was just saying over the last cinematic that why I love this game so much and really hope to see more of this in the more video games like this produced is the way that they're portraying her mental illness as, you know, she's this kind of priestess, psychic, shaman-like figure for her tribe, and she's completely ostracized and treated like, you know, she's treated terribly, and, you know, she has these premonitions and visions of things that could really help, but because of the stigma, even in her tribe that has this kind of spiritual understanding of, you know, they're treated terribly.
Does your precious gift
So I think it's a huge opportunity to reach a niche of people for mental health awareness, you know, as video gamers. And
do you hear their endless cries? Do you smell their putrid wounds? They were once brothers, sisters, and loved ones. Look at what you have done to them.
It
All
can't
because
block
you
that
were
heavy attack.
because you ran from your curse instead of facing it. When you turned your back on your father Zimbo, you turned your back on the gods and let the darkness wreak havoc on your people. Why must they pay for your heresy?
I remember watching the special features, and I would definitely do it on the channel if people are interested. But the way that they have specifically listed her features of psychosis are just amazing. The way that they've developed her character, the way the voices, like if you've ever listened to this with headphones, I figured out that the audio, the way it records, is even if you're viewing it, you can get the same kind of audio of the voices kind of affecting her, and you can hear the voices, the way that they recorded it is just masterful, and really sounds like someone's kind of talking in your ear and talking around you, like you would expect someone with what we call schizophrenia or symptoms like that. It's not the end of the game. As far as hours, I want to say we're probably about 6 hours in or so. So, we just picked up grammar. A reforged sword.
He's gone! Focus!
Whoa. This is really a game I want to play on the channel, especially during times for mental health awareness, because it's just, you know, I have a background with mental health myself, and I do things on a daily basis to help manage my mental health, you know, medication free. And you know, there's a documentary called Crazy Wise that basically talks about how cultures, particularly tribal-like cultures, view people as shamans, priests, priestesses, and healers rather than as, you know, they just, instead of just labeling it as mental illness or insanity, you know, it's such a different story, or what they call narrative, around illness. And sometimes it makes, you know, the healing opportunity around it, not only for the individual, but what it allows them to do to see into the human psyche and, you know, spirituality, all of that, if you believe in that sort of thing. I feel like so many of the elements of this game are directed at that.
Who is it? Galena!
Where are you?
Okay, we have a left.
Do you hear the voice of your mother, Galena? She calls for you, Senua. Go to her. Answer her pitiful call.
I think this is back the way we... Yep, back the way we came in.
And it will take
I don't want to miss any lore markers this time through. Okay, we have a right. It's over here. Okay. Can't go in there. Man, this area is amazing. You don't know what you believe in?
Mother! I need you! Help me!
You're both dead. You both surrendered to the voices.
Your dear beloved mother was powerless against the darkness when it came forth. She too had a sight. She too doubted the gods and let the darkness infest her. But she didn't run. She escaped the only way she knew how. She gave her life to the gods.
If only you had done the same, the world would have been spared this horror.
It's not too late. She's calling for you. Why don't you join her?
What I love so much about the symbolism is, of course, her darkness is metaphorical of like her depression, her mental illness, the fits and the episodes that that it kind of encase her, her kind of psychic ability that her mother and her shared. Her mother was a priestess, her father Zinbel was a priest, and she's treated like the things that happen to her are a curse, and like it's her fault, but it's obviously kind of out of ignorance that she has no intention of causing things to happen to people. She just sees it because she has the gift of sight, as they would call it in this society, or in this tribal culture. And oh yeah, these guys. And then her mother committed suicide because of a long time struggling with it and not being able to overcome it or live in a way that she could be accepted by her society. So she was completely isolated and alone, and even Senua's father didn't support her, and it's viewed as an illness that needs to be cured. Because some of these guys, yep, he does that. Okay. You gotta use the focus here. I'm waiting on it to... Do I need a block to get it back? There we go. Okay. Oh man, these guys are fast. Okay. Two little axe berserker guys. Not too bad. Come on, come on. Yeah, love. Have you heard of a philosopher named Alan Watts? I'm actually wearing an Alan Watts shirt right now. he's like one of my favorite people to listen to. He's a British. He died in the 70s, but I've listened to a lot. He has lots and lots of audio recordings, but he was a philosopher and also I want to say a scholar of religion, and he specialized in Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, kind of Oriental religions, but he was also Episcopal priest for a while, and the way that he talks about I would say that he takes a pretty mystical view of religion and kind of takes a comparative approach. That's actually taught in the religion department that I'm in, that I study under, and it's a really interesting way of looking at religion from a lot of different aspects, not just the holy texts and the actual what you would call like the physical qualities of religion, the people, its followers, like maybe the text, the holy text and the scripture, etc. But also looking at it historically, sociologically. It's not for everybody. There's some people that want to do theology and all that. That's absolutely a big part of the field of religion. But what we do is try and take a objective, scholarly, academic approach to it, which makes it a really cool thing to study the culture a little bit that practices it, the historical context and all that, and kind of pull a lot of lot of aspects of it out. So yeah, it opens it up for interpretation, basically, or a little bit of a different way of studying. I've really enjoyed it. My major was originally philosophy, and I actually changed to religion because what I thought would be philosophy I actually got in taking Buddhism courses. I wanted to study Hindu and Buddhist thought and philosophy, and some of it is atheistic, quote-unquote atheistic, where it's not centered around a single supernatural deity. Some of it is theistic or monotheistic, where they believe in God and multiple gods, or polytheistic. So there is a lot of diversity in studying religion. Oh, you did the charge. The Lotus Sutra. The Lotus Sutra is amazing. Oh, there it went. Damn, big dude. The Lotus Heart Sutra, or the Diamond Sutra, is really profound by the Buddha. Oh, we're all the way back here? Alright. Come on. Man, I need to get better at blocking this dude. There it is. Okay. God. Between the dual wielding boys and the two-hand. Okay, I had a focus. The Eightfold Path.
You can do this. Go again.
Oh god, it's been a while. I keep hitting R2 to block. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I was listening to some Alan Watts talk about the Four Noble Truths earlier today. I really like the stuff he says about Zen Buddhism. Now, you know, when I took my intro to religion, or intro to Buddhism course through the religion department, the professor had a very different approach in talking about Zen Buddhism than in kind of popular culture or pop culture talks about Zen, which is really interesting. I didn't realize there's a very different distinction. Come on, get up. Get up. Oh, come on. Need to get used to the dueling axe guys. They're a lot faster than I remember. Yeah, teaming them up with the... If I just focus the big dudes. Yeah, I need to parry a lot more too to store up the focus. It is. It really is interesting to think about that. Like, it literally, like, some of them start from literally a group of people getting together and trying to form moral and ethical beliefs about how to live, and they start gathering together in sacred places that become churches or places of significance, and, you know, eventually a kind of a visionary, a prophet, or a holy person comes along and teaches a lot of what becomes the religion, and then a lot of that gets written down and becomes scripture like the Bible or the Quran, you know, the Buddhist texts and all that. And how people want to say, you know, whether it's divine intervention and it's actually God speaking through people, or people seeing deeply into the nature of themselves, as in Buddhism or Hinduism. It's a fascinating thing to study for me. That's why I'm switched from philosophy to religion. Oh, come on. I had that huge overhead heavy coming at you hard. Jonestown. Yes. I want to say... Yes, I've heard of Jonestown. I want to say it was where a scientist defended the right to teach evolution in schools. Is that correct? Was that Jonestown? Colt in South America. Okay, no, I haven't heard of that. Okay. Now I think, yep, big dude, I need to get on him quick. Oh man, his charge, Jesus, really? God, that the way that he changes direction so readily from far away, that's kind of crazy. Okay, I need to avoid damage here. Ah, come on. Okay. Ah, fuck.
She's injured.
Oh, man. Alright. I need to get better at the two-hand axe boys. They're in that big open area. Man, that charge is really hard to avoid. They're really good at predicting motion prediction too. That's pretty I'm impressed. Okay, they can hit through the... God damn. Oop, I heard axe guy. Two-hand axe. Dual wield. There you are. What? Oh, that's some horse shit. Come on. God damn. Not avoid taking damage here. Yeah, these are some of the harder combat sequences in the game though. I remember that. I need to be, I'm doing too many heavy attacks. God, fuck you. There we go. Now these fucking axe guys, I need to... Alright. Okay. One. Oh, there it is. Okay, you can watch my back. Ah, come on, get out. Come on. Oh. God, he changes direction so well with that charge. That's crazy. It does so much damage too. That's why I need to get better at avoiding that. Okay. So the going into a run. Okay. Whew. Just the two of these guys left so far? Oh, come on. I blocked. Tonight, what time is it? 8:42 Eastern Standard Time. Probably for about another hour or so. Oh, okay, that breaks. Okay. The shield bash gets through. Man, I need to cover my health here. I do not want to have to... Come on. There we go. This guy's getting it. Alright. Ah, keep misreading that shield bash. Man, the combos are so good. I can finally get some out. Cult leader got followers to drink poison. Oh yeah, Jonestown. Yeah. Of course. That was in like the 70s or 80s, right? I want to say. Yeah, that was a bit ago, but yeah, that's where like the expression like "drink the Kool-Aid" comes from. Yeah, that's like. Oh, rolled into that. Really? I haven't been using the focus very much because I actually want more of the combat rather than kind of rush through it. I feel like it's not a cheese because it's a required gameplay mechanic, but I feel like overusing it makes the game a bit easy, or can. So I've only used it when needed. Okay. Yeah, like there, when they go into that kind of shadow form. See, it just kind of...
Why do you still fight on?
Oh shit, I didn't see that go.
Your brethren in this rot and let your blood seep into the seas and the rivers of hell. Isn't that what you deserve?
Oh.
Give the darkness
come on, don't corner me.
Swallow your soul and destroy all that you are. Why are you fighting for someone who is already dead?
Just look around you.
What hope is there for him?
There we go.
If his soul could be rescued, do you think he'd thank you for what you have done to him, to his friends, to his father?
There we go. Oh god, another one of you. Ah, Jesus. Alright. Alright, recover your health, please. Do I just need to block that? I mean, I don't... It's such a... Okay, using the focus slows it down a lot. It's much easier to evade. But still, god damn, the angle correction during a charge, it's a bit... I mean, it's like the hardest combat option they have. Okay, grammar goes through the shadow form sometimes. Nice. I don't feel like there's lore markers in this area, but I'm still gonna be on the lookout for them. Wow, look at this area. Am I backtracking? I think I'm backtracking. I think so. Alright. I got turned around somehow. Easy to do and very few landmarks to go off of. It's just like a hallway. Hallway of hellscape, tortured souls. Friendly faces. Like this one. Hey. Ah! Not only is it a sea of fire somehow in Helheim, it's a sea of fire and salt. No, I don't know. Just think of salt in your wounds. Alright.
You're both dead. You both surrendered to the voices. The darkness has taken you. Galena and Senua. Galena and Senua. You are lost. There's nothing you can do. You're dead. You're both dead. Mother and daughter dead in the sea of corpses. The voices took her.
I don't know if we're gonna die in here. I don't think there's a kosher, not kosher. I don't think there's a clean place to eat anywhere here. I don't think there's a single place they could stomach food. Wow, anatomical models. They just look like, you know, anatomical models, like no flesh, just raw muscle tissue, nerve endings.
I can't fight it anymore. Not on my own. Where are you, Mother? I want to be with you.
Kosher.
She gave up on her world to follow in the footsteps of her mother.
Kosher, the expression, not the
To go to a place
following a kosher diet.
couldn't reach her.
Senua. Look at me.
Do you hear them? They're calling for me.
We've lost so many. And I've lost my father. I can't lose you.
You said it. I have blood on my hands.
I didn't say that. You've done nothing wrong.
Symbol was right. Everyone will suffer.
Zimbel is a fake. He is a hateful, bitter liar. He's poison. And his words still haunt you. Who do you trust? Him? Or me? Do you still believe in me, Senua? In us?
My neck break.
Come back to me. Please. Don't let this darkness come between us.
The hardest battles are fought in the mind. He gave her the sword with which to fight in more ways than one. And she gave him her word, never to surrender. All she needed was a little help. A little hope.
Oh man, this game tackles so many issues, like healing past trauma. Like, I think it's so relatable for her to be dealing with the voice of her father in her head surrounding her mental health and her mind. And oh, this is supposed to take place somewhere in Gaul, the setting of this game. I didn't know that. 4000 BC. Makes sense. Like, it's so relatable for someone to hear that kind of like that nagging voice, or for me to think about, you know, some of those discouraging voices from like my childhood, or even that negative self-talk that happens, that's like, you know, you're never good enough, or this, you know, it's not enough, you need to try harder, do this better, etc. And for her, that's Zinbel, you know, and then also herself, it's also herself.
Don't worry. We're here to help you. You don't have to do this on your own anymore.
And, you know, her darkness representing this thing that's obscured, that's hidden, that she can't see, and then there's so much emphasis on using the mind, you know, the winning the battle in the mind, and then she reforges the sword, or she's starting to put her mind back together. The sword often represents the mind, and using the mind to penetrate and look into or combat the darkness, to go into it and face it, rather than, you know, there's so much rich metaphor in this, in her story, that
So clever. Did you miss us? Oh, she did. She did.
Are you glad we're back?
She's so glad we're back. Go on.
There's a door.
You can do it.
You can see it.
Come on, Senua.
Go away. I'm not listening.
okay. Okay, yep, we did get this sword. Did I run past something back at the tree? I might have run past something back at the tree. Now that I felt like it would have kept me in that area, though. It wouldn't have let me move forward if I needed to. Their level design is so good, I don't think they would have let me move forward without having activated something back there.
I'm not listening.
We're running back this way? Go check the tree again real quick. Felt like it would have been very. All of the Celts and Gaul were killed by the Romans. Yeah, I know, playing through this makes me want to brush up on my. I guess this would be considered ancient history. It might be, ancient history might be too far. This might be too recent to be called ancient. Ancient human history, at least. Did I miss something at the tree? I don't think so. We got the sword. We battled through that hellish landscape. I died like 2 or 3 times at the choke point. Yeah, no, yeah, I think I go back to the door. It just wasn't giving me an interaction for some reason to activate it. Since I ran all the way over here, I'm gonna run back to the base of the tree just to double check. We're already 80% of the way backtracking. This was made out of, they said it. It's in the last part that I did. They might have been, these were weapons crafted by the gods, so I want to say this was meteorite, if I remember correctly, but I think it was, they were also talking about Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. I want to say it's, well, yeah, I mean, like, their weapons not forged by the gods are made of iron, yeah. But this particular sword that was forged by the gods by Sigmund, or for Sigmund, was made out of like meteorite or something. Exotic materials. Godly materials. Excuse me. Yeah, I think I just backtracked for... Yeah. I've noticed that sometimes where going up to activate something, I feel like a certain amount of dialogue has to happen sometimes before being able to activate something. I don't mind running around this environment though. This is quite striking, and just the way the character moves, just... It's really amazing as well. I was playing Resident Evil 5 with my girlfriend over the week, and we nearly played through. We played through most of it. I'd say we played through about 75% of it. But oh my goodness, talk about like a choppy mechanics, like combat system, like to hit, melee hit or shoot or reload. Your character will completely stop. There's no, I can't run forward, side strafe, move at all. It's just you stop still. It's... Oh my goodness. I was like, I'm so used to like the little ring popping up to... So I like focused on the door rather than use X to interact with it. Yeah.
I will tell you of a great hero named Sigurd, son of Sigmund, no less. Born after his father's death,
I'm gonna be right
Sigurd
back.
is
Grab
cared
some
for
water.
by the dwarf Rain. But Rain does not love the boy. Instead, he plans to use him for his own ends. You see, Rain's father possessed a great treasure given to him by the gods. But Rain's brother, Fafnir, killed and could not leave it. And from the evil in his heart, he turned into a...
Whoa. Alright. I'm gonna play this one more time just so I can see the text
I will
as
tell
I
you of a great hero named Sigurd,
run on.
son of Sigmund.
I missed it.
Born after his father's death, Sigurd is cared for by the dwarf Rain. But Rain does not love the boy. Instead, he plans to use him for his own ends. You see, Rain's father possessed a great treasure given to him by the gods. But Rain's brother, Fafnir, killed his father and took the gold all for himself. Fafnir hid the treasure out on a heath and could not leave it. And from the evil in his heart, he turned into a dark creature, a dragon.
Okay. Can you make this a... Okay, that's not a jump. Are you starting back class next week? I'm starting back next week. I have no idea what my schedule is going to be like yet. Well, as far as stream schedule, my class schedule's a little bit up in the air too.
A great beast guards Helheim. Garm is its name, and it knows you are here, Senua. It can smell your stink. What are you afraid of, Senua? How would you say Dillion if you are too much of a coward to step into the shadow?
They can't stop me.
Then do it! The beast is stalking you from the shadows. Your sword is useless here. Don't be fooled. The beast is still here. No. It's a trick.
Mother, do you hear that?
Don't fall for it.
It's me, Senua. It's so loud.
It's not her.
So full of hate.
It's a trap.
I just want to help them. Tell me what to do. Your father wants them to go away, and he only hurts me to silence them. But he's gone now.
They always come back. He says I will die if I go with them. They say that I'm already dead.
No,
They
please.
want me with them.
Stop!
That's why they crawl through the walls.
Don't listen
Do you
to them.
see them? Do you see their faces?
He's coming. Senua, help me. Help, get me out of here. Don't go. She's disappeared again. She shouldn't be here. She escaped the darkness. She took her own life to escape it.
She can't remember when it started. This is what happens if you reach for the underworld, he said. It was a lot to take in for a child. And the first time she felt the cold chill of fear. I don't talk much about her father, Zinbel. I suppose I just didn't want to risk upsetting her. But it doesn't matter now, does it?
Okay. So now that... Oh wow, this goes... pretty far back. Okay. Are we kind of like in a repeating room? No. Wait. Okay. We made a run past some stuff in the dark. I want to say that's a great place to hide some Easter eggs. So I'm gonna see if I can find a shrine back. No, okay. That was the bridges that I crossed over. Oh, maybe. Okay, this just goes. Yeah, this goes. I want to mark these just so I know that I've been here, so I don't get too turned around either. So. There's a left here? Where's this guy? Okay, so this is a little loop around to the left. What about to the right? Or I'll go straight next and then go to the right. This is very maze-like. Ooh. Lots of blood here. Oh, I blocked.